So that was amazing.
Hi guys, this is Jess and Brian, and this is our 7th year anniversary. And so we thought we'd do a little video to talk about how we met and maybe a few tips on how we've done through these 7 years and how we have made it through. You ready? You want to kick it off on how we met, sir?
So we met through Winston-Salem State University. It was a kickback in the dorm rooms. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was called up to bring some libations to a party.
He was looking like Dora the Explorer, y'all. Yeah. A little book bag in his little Target uniform.
I stayed with the backpack and prepared, but once we came to the party, it was to the point where it was a lot of joking, a lot of having fun. I guess I go for the hard to get kind of girls, and one thing led to another towards the end of that party. Just really enjoyed ourselves. A lot of dancing going on.
I like it PG, dancing.
Yeah. But we enjoyed ourselves, and that was pretty much the start of it. My size Barbie definitely changed everything for me.
Yes, that was 14 years ago. Yeah, that was 14 years ago, my freshman year. That was your junior year?
Oh, 14 years. Yep.
So it has been a journey, and majority of our relationship, we've been long distance.
Yeah, the first, I want to say 7 years of our relationship was long distance.
We had that good foundation of maybe, I would say, a year and a half of being in the same city. And then he graduated, and I was still in Winston, and you were in Durham.
Correct.
North Carolina. And then after I graduated, I moved to Florida for a year. And that was challenging.
It was new. It added, I guess, spice into the relationship. It was like a vacation every time. So every other weekend we would go see each other, whether she would come to North Carolina or I would go to Florida. So we made the best of it. It was like seeing each other for the first time every time we saw each other.
Definitely was fun. I would get so excited. I would plan, like, when it was his turn to come to Florida, I would plan whether we're going to Disney World or we're going to go to some kind of steak restaurant. I don't know. It was like, you're right. It was like a vacation every time we saw each other. And then after I was in Florida, I moved to Winston, back to Winston, and you were still in Durham. And it was kind of that way until we got married, right?
Yes. And then you came up, got an apartment, which was about a month and a half. And then you went to Charlotte.
Y'all, so this is the real tea. I had wanted to move in together, and yes, we're from the South. We are super traditional, but I'm like, we've been together like 50 plus years dating. We're about to get married. Let's just move in together, like pre-planned. Brian was so stuck on not wanting to live together. He did not want to shack up. Like, no. He kept telling me no. So I was like, all right, well, fine. I'm going to move to Durham. And so I moved to Durham. I get an apartment. And then literally, like, I swear it was like 2 months later, I get an internship in Charlotte.
Yes.
So I had to sell my apartment and move back to my hometown of Charlotte. I guess that kind of worked out.
It was a benefit for both at the time. Being supportive of her being supportive of me. Keep moving. So I was definitely on the grind. So that move was possibly premature, but it helped benefit both of us.
But you gotta keep it real. It took you forever to propose.
It did take a while.
It took forever. I was like, bruh, we've been dating for, I think I told you yet, maybe 4 years. I was like, listen, I have goals. I want to be married by a certain time. We've been dating a long time. And if you don't see me as a potential wife, then you need to go ahead and cut this off now. And like, I have an expiration date for this relationship. Like, I love you to pieces, but if you don't see it for me, I need to find somebody that does see it for me. So that was kind of like my line in the sand for you.
Well, in her words, yes. We all know that there's two sides to the story.
True, but it didn't backfire because we were married, right?
I think that's a go-to comment because we've been married for 7 years. So the statement made very true, but the question within each individual man is that emotional maturity that you may have. Why string someone along if you do have strong feelings for them? What is the fear? I guess as everyone, we went through our long relationship off and on. Just the fear of missing out, and you kind of realize that there is no real missing out. It's all in you as an individual and what you accept, and the person who you've chose to actually build the time with, invest in, to pour into, to uplift, is actually listening to you, wanting to uplift you all at the same exact time. Those are the questions that are being answered right in front of your face, and you can't be scared. You gotta be able to step up to the plate.
I was proud. He proposed on our 5th anniversary, so like, he definitely was a knucklehead. He wanted to wait till my like point of no return to actually propose, but I was super excited, and we were engaged for 1.5 years while we planned. And let me tell you, this man hustled. Brian basically paid for majority of our wedding by himself. Like, not only did he buy a ring, he like hustled to make it happen. He made my dream come true.
2 rings.
Okay, yes, he bought 2 rings. I got engaged with 1 ring, and then like, what, 1 year later, you re-proposed? I don't know how you say that. You upgraded me early? I don't know.
By the time wedding day, her wedding ring was bigger.
Yes, which I loved, and he let me design. So that was amazing. And then I'm hoping for year 10 that we get that too. Yeah, I'm just throw that out there.
Y'all have aspirations.
We do. But it's been an amazing journey. I definitely feel like I've grown so much. I feel like you are a major part of who I am and how I've matured. I know Jessica at 18 is definitely different than Jessica now. And you're a major part of that. God, like even when we first started living together, that was an experience. So even though we had dated like 5-6 years before we got married, we never lived together, and living together is completely different. So I think that first year was probably the hardest to me. What do you think?
I guess we are gonna keep it PG, but year 1, first bit of love, couple love, everything is, you could say brand spanking new.
Yeah, but you're making all the fun stuff. You discover like habits. Brian hates bobby pins everywhere, like straight hair. Yeah, you're making it PG.
But we can go into. I think the first year actually was not as bad as you're making it.
First year was hard for me.
Well, maybe it was for my wife, but I've been this way from the beginning. So we can also talk about my growth and compromise right away within the marriage of not wanting a dog, period.
I know, and if you can see Zoe, she's sleeping right here. We have her.
And breaking down and actually getting a dog for my wife. A couple things behind that. My wife really wanted a dog, but it also pushed off the baby conversation because I'm very career driven. My wife is career driven, but also has, I call it princess dreams, storybook dreams, never-ending story type dreams,
What?
if I would call that. Marry Prince Charming, live in a castle, and have a child right away. Where
It wasn't right away.
it was all in. Well, you learn to compromise. I got a dog when I didn't want a dog. I found love. Definitely, she became my dog. So, also just learning about my wife. She back then had some interesting spending habits. Tough conversations had to have happened. Me being possessive and controlling had to take place. Me being the less of a romantic had to take place. Those conversations were some of the things that we had up front. We've been having these conversations even a while before marriage, but it was just, now we're invading each other's space. It's not, I spend some time over at your apartment, you spend some time over at mine, and whenever we pissed off, we get to leave. It was more of, we're gonna work this out. We committed to each other when we said I do, but even before then, those are things, the conversations we've had, that if it ever were to take place, we weren't going to be like our parents. There's not to our parents, but we frowned on divorce. And so, as she talking about, it took a while to commit, but it was just coming from a broken family. And am I really ready for this? Was the conversation I was having myself. And so when you have something great staring you dead in the face, it's a little intimidating at first. You know, when people tell you to dare to be great, you know, jump for what you deserve, getting the confidence when, as
all these quotes, okay?
sorry,
Go ahead.
but just I don't know if I'm just speaking my heart at this point in time, but as a black man, you get pushed down, you get taught to be a certain way, and you kind of bring a vulnerable side out of somebody when you introduce yourself to a woman who can bring that out of you versus being guarded. And so it's, I'm not gonna say intimidating, but it brings anxiety.
All right, so I think we can say that communication is a major factor in a relationship, that you have to have those tough conversations. You need to talk about, like, where's your standpoint with kids, or how do you do your finances. I think one thing, before we got married, we didn't talk as much about finances, and that's one thing I wish that we did. I know that as years goes on, you grow and you learn more about each other and spending, and you do better. But I think that was something that we didn't talk about a lot when we were dating. Like, he knew I liked to spend, he knew I didn't save beforehand, but we never really talked about it. So it was like a wake-up call when we actually got married, and then these are the kind of conversations that we're starting to have.
Well, it was not just that. It was hints dropping while we were dating, and then
Right.
Now it's more affecting my direct pocket.
Right, but it was never a full, like, conversation. So I think that, we've done that now, but I think we should have done it earlier. So for people out there in relationships, I think that's something very important that you should talk about when you guys are starting to get real serious. Those are the kind of conversations you need to have. You don't agree?
What, money right off top?
Not off top. When you're getting serious, you need to start talking about coins.
I think a lot more gets involved, just in adult life, credit scores, how things are aligning goals.
There you go. That's a good thing. Aligning goals is important. That also is your goal, to be in have a boat. Have a conversation about it. Y'all want a boat? We don't. Nobody drives a boat. I do want a boat.
I don't know where that came from. You're like Dallas is in a pool. Just want a pool.
Okay, y'all. So we have a daughter. Her name is Dallas. She is 2. She is the most amazing, sassiest little girl. Oh my gosh, she is 3. Time is going so freaking fast, but she's amazing. I need to laugh.
Did the same thing maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, well, what's crazy, Dallas looks just like Brian, but she has my personality. So we have our hands full because I'm a lot, and now you have 2 of us in the house. And I know growing up, I was definitely a little bit more headstrong, definitely more of a know-it-all when I was younger. Didn't have a lot of flexibility of apologizing or not being right. So we got our work cut out for us. If she's gonna be anything like me, she'll be smart. She'll be smart.
I guess that means I'm dumb.
No, I did not say that. I'm saying like me. Just I was smart, so she might be smart. That's what I was saying. But introducing a child into a relationship is also different because you have to figure out how to prioritize time with each other, time with your child. Are you investing time in your relationship? Are you nurturing your child? Finding that balance is very difficult. I don't think we've mastered it quite yet. We're only on year 3. I think we're doing the best we can. I know that we could probably be doing better.
I don't think no one can sit here and say they're experts at raising children, but you're an expert at raising your child and how you want your child to be. Same thing, relationship goals would be aligning with your spouse. If you two are fine, your child will be fine.
Yes, I agree. I agree to that. But this, I'm just excited. Like, we are at 7 years married. We've been together 14 years. Like, that's a lot of time for people that are in their early 30s. Like, I don't think a lot of people have not been together that long. So we just wanted to jump on and do a quick couch combo with us.
Yeah, what she said.
Keep it fun, keep it cute, keep it live, keep it spicy.
Yes, be honest. So again, the tips that I would add if we were talking about tips for 7 years would be: don't be bullheaded, be open, let God be the head of your house and you run it from there. Some things that people do not agree with on some of my views would be roles in a house. That is basically whatever your defined roles between you and your relationship, which is basically playing to your strengths. Play your roles. Don't cross into different lanes because it goes into different expectations. So communication is very high. It should be high, and you can really tell in your relationship when communication is low. Be able to, as men, be able to communicate your heart to your wife. Learning even to this day that it is definitely more of a turn on for your woman to know you versus to be shut out and cold. Specifically when you're upset, mad, angry, even in your mind, even taking it back to your woman feeling vengeful to the other person. That is not the case because you're here to be as one, and that's what you agreed upon. And so this is what you're trying to carry out. This person is not here to do things in spite of you. They're trying to uplift you in every way possible, and you have to empower them, and they have to empower you.
No. Well, this is our little couch convo session. Happy anniversary, Papa.
Happy anniversary.
So I'm trying to talk Brian to possibly doing a YouTube, maybe. We do a lot of stuff. Brian does real estate stuff, investing, flipping, rental homes. Stuff. You also got the habit of designing. He's into designing clothes now.
Stuff.
I'm into decorating. We got a lot of different things, so that's a possibility, doing a little video. We'll see, but thanks for watching.